In this video, we will be looking at what a monopoly is, what monopolies have existed in the past, and if YouTube qualifies as a monopoly. So, what exactly is a monopoly? And no, I'm not just talking about the board game Monopoly. A monopoly, as defined by Webster's dictionary, is the exclusive possession or control of the supply or trade in a commodity or service. Simply put, if you're the only one that can provide a service, or if you dominate a service, then you have a monopoly. Which I guess monopoly works as an example then. So it's like you owning all of the orange property. You can put hotels on it and make everyone have to pay a lot of money to get it. Monopolies in the past. Before 1890, the government had a very laissez-faire approach to the economy, which means a hands-off approach. They didn't do anything, which led to bigger companies owning entire sections of economies while paying politicians to keep it this way. From 1870 to 1900 is basically classified as the Gilded Age because of that reason. In short, on the outside everything looked great, but on the inside everything was corrupt and disgusting. Businesses that owned entire sections of the economy could make everything cost up to 3 times more than it needed to, which they did. But by 1890, the people and the government had had enough of this business practice and created a bill called the Sherman Antitrust Law of 1890.
Wait, so they didn't trust the businesses?
Not exactly. Looking at it, an antitrust bill from the economic standpoint is basically keeping trusts from controlling entire parts of the economy. A trust is a group of businesses that is owned by either a single board or even a person. So in this context, yeah, it's they didn't trust them because they knew they shouldn't trust them. Some of the bigger industries were sugar, tobacco, oil, and meatpacking businesses that were broken up. The main purpose of the antitrust law was not to break up businesses, but to give customers and consumers a better deal and to give them a better quality because competition equals to the creation of better things. Fast forward to the late 20th century and early 21st century, and monopolies are still happening and are still being broken up. In 1982, a major split up happened when AT&T was split into 7 smaller regional companies, and in 1999, when Microsoft tried to stop Netscape from really expanding, they had to get settled with the government by stopping many of their practices that limited other companies from having a chance of basically starting. But a more recent view of monopolies have been formed because of the Microsoft settlement, which is that in short, it has to there has to be some sort of competition. But does YouTube fall into this category? Does it have competition? Well, let's ask this simple question. Is there another video website company that can compete with the sheer size and magnitude of the people on YouTube? One of the reasons that YouTube really kind of just exploded was because of the fact at 1 year after the start, and then in 2006, Google bought it. And then it really took off after that, really. But the only thing, that might be able to compete with it is Twitch, but that's only on a streaming side and only on a limited factor. YouTube is trying to get into streaming, and I stream on YouTube, not as much on Twitch, but unless you don't count the porn industry side, then there's nothing that really counters YouTube. Then what does that mean? It means that you as a viewer and me as content creator are basically being shorted or ripped off. We could get better quality, we can get better appeals, better representation if there was competition. Our complaints about false strikes on our videos would be actually reviewed, or else we would go to the other website and we could actually use that website instead of YouTube. But we don't, so we don't really have the opportunity to do that. Again, looking at the Sherman Antitrust Act and its primary purpose to help customers than it is
applicable.
YouTube is almost trying to become like Netflix and Hulu and now Amazon Prime by making YouTube Red, have its own movies, and so you see Netflix making movies and then you see YouTube doing that too. You know, YouTube can literally do whatever it wants and we're at its whim. Looking at some of the moves that it is making, it's concerning, such as, the creation of YouTube Red to see if it has enough people that would actually buy into it to support itself by actually going full pay to watch videos. And if enough people do buy into YouTube Red, I can definitely see YouTube becoming a pay to view website or a pay monthly fees or something like that. As I've said in other videos, YouTube is trying to become more like a TV network and less of a social media website, even though they say we want to be social media. It's not, that's not how it works. You see all these channels sponsored by networks, and those networks are like on TV. You have TV channels and each of the type of like channels like vlogs, gaming, beauty tips, etc., etc. That's starting to look like a TV channel and less like a video streaming.
So answering the question as a whole, is YouTube a monopoly, is complicated. It is starting to show signs of one though. When the website first came out, other video streaming websites had around the same viewership as YouTube, if a little bit less. But the thing is, they didn't really keep up with YouTube. Vimeo, Dailymotion, Funny or Die, etc. now ironically have YouTube accounts posting to YouTube. It's really kind of scary that these once great websites are now having to post to different video streaming websites. YouTube has the best viewership this per month over every other website, and it is the easiest to upload to. But there are other websites. But do they really hold a flame to YouTube's wildfire? No, not really. But that really is the only reason that YouTube hasn't been classified as a full-on monopoly, and that's because of these other smaller websites that a bunch of them can combine to make YouTube. So, why? You just watched that video. First off, congratulations, you just made it through that. That was really nerdy. Um, Second off, if you liked that video and you liked how I just did that, then let me know down in the comment section down below if you want me to do more cut comments like that. I think I'm going to try to do a face cam next time, just because it was just weird. So I'm using Audacity and all that stuff. So I'm just toying around with that. So if you liked that and how I did that, how I edited it and stuff, let me down in the comments down below. If you want to see more, then put down in the comments down below. As I just said 3 times. Alright, and I will see you on next video.